What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity Buildit video. And today I'm going to be doing the high-level Contest to Mayor's walkthrough. Now, I recently had to deal with an emergency and I had forgotten about my gold token running. So I decided that the first part of this video, I'm going to get caught up on my gold token and tell you guys what's going on, and then we will do the walkthrough of the assignments that I had done since the last time I had put a video up. Okay, so first things first, I am finishing up a veggies token here. Now I need to get caught up on this token, so I got to get some stuff up here for sale. And once something's making, I can be less stressed about it. Okay, so let's see. Let me just tell you guys, it's been a hell of a time. I knew why I don't play the Contest to Mayors at high level, but man, this was a friendly reminder. This so far has cost me an obscene amount of everything. You know, I've went through probably, no lie, probably 15 tokens, but thankfully my city regenerates them. But that's tokens I could have spent on other things, you know, making money. I would have been well over 1.3 million had I not been playing the contest. Meanwhile, I haven't been able to run my production plan efficiently because I have been busy making things that I wouldn't normally make. So there's that. So for you high-level players, let me go ahead and get this done here real quick. Okay, so this is the next plan of attack here. So yesterday, the Contest to Mayors started for me 10 p.m. the night before yesterday. So this will be day 2 of the contest. It's really early morning, and I've only got 13 tasks left, plus tickets. So I'm doing okay, but I'm going to show you guys the leaderboard. I have been hauling ass, okay? And I'm going to show you where I'm at on the leaderboard. Last I knew, I was in second. That was last night when I went to bed 5 hours ago, okay? This is what the leaderboard looks like for a high-level player. And this is on day 2. How many of you guys don't even have anywhere near my score right now going, how the hell did she get 88K in one day? Yeah, and that's while making the right decisions. Now, many players that hustle this fast at low level, you can pretty much bet that they don't know what they're doing. Now, that usually is a good sign. That usually means that that person will be out of their tasks within 2 days, and then they will spend the rest of the week slowly watching their placement drop, right? And that is the typical leaderboard. Now, up here, where the big people play, you know, the level 99 people, it ain't like that. These people, most of these people have a pretty good idea what they're doing because they've been playing for 5 years, or they're hackers. So, you know, you got to remember what type of player you're going up against, right? A lot of the level 20-something players are OG players, and that's their alternate account. So you're actually experiencing quite a bit of competition at the low leagues. But here, how many players do you think, if you were to hack the game, what level would you pick? Most hackers pick level 99, 100, 102. You know, the reason they don't pick 102 or 101 or even 100 is usually because that is a really good indicator that they're hacked. And they're trying not to get banned. Because the moment that SimCity catches wind that they're hacked, they're unable to join into groups, they're unable to sell their items on the main server, and they're stuck on Naughty Island with all the other hackers. So they get away. Basically, once you hack a city, it's just a matter of time until someone reports you. If you start doing stupid stuff like putting your war cards above level 10 and putting up obscene amounts of points rapidly, you know, having more than 12 factories, things like that. There's ways that people look at it and say, okay, this person's hacked. They get reported and boom, they're out, right? Well, a lot of people, they just stopped reporting because they didn't hear back to know if the person did in fact get booted off the server. And I'm here to tell you that 9 times out of 10, if you have the screenshots and you can prove that person's hacking, they will take them off the main server. So it's not a waste of your time to report them. What is a waste of your time is to not report them and have them continue to get away with it and continue to bump you or another legit player down simply because you didn't want to take the 2 seconds out of your day to report them. And that is what has made the contest of mayors unbelievably miserable, right? Now, not just that, but at my level, it costs too much. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown here. Even if I was to take the full 5 days and not rush through my tasks, I still would have to have used 90% of what I had used this round of CoM. Why is that? Well, as many of you guys know, I had got hit with a produce 8 fire pits task. And then immediately after that, I got hit with a produce 10 yogurts task. Now, for low-level players who don't know what that means that you basically are screwed, because that is a item in the game that takes 192 minutes to produce one of, right? Which means you get 3.75 of them done on 1 gold token. So had I not used the gold token, how long do you think that would have taken me? Multiply 8 by 192 minutes. That's ridiculous. Then I got hit with a yogurt task, which is 192 minutes of yogurt, same as the fire pits. Okay? But I got hit with 10 of them. I do not have 24 straight hours to donate my time to one damn task. I don't have that. And I cannot afford to let that task sit for 24 full hours while I whittle away my points to something else. Now, another player is that he's high level and he had just entered into my CoM training course. I had thought to myself, I don't know why he's doing this to himself, but I agreed to train him, and I honestly didn't have the time or the energy to kind of give him the speech of why are you doing this to yourself. I figured he's seen my videos and he's proceeded on anyways. And I just was going to make it very clear to him when he screwed up and why it was unacceptable. Like, well, you're going to fail and all of your time will be wasted, and this is why. And I think it was about yesterday midday, so 1 day into the contest, he had already had to do 3 regional coin tasks, which same as me, except for he only has 2 regional maps unlocked. So for him, it was even worse, because that means that when there's several types of regional tasks that you get. Okay, one of them is to do the regional rows. So it doesn't matter what regional map it's from, as long as you complete the rows. Then you have coins tasks. So let's say that you do the rows on one of the maps, and then you go turn around and you get earn regional currency for that same map that you did the rows for, right? That's going to be a problem, because now you have a timer on that regional shipment. So if you get hit with a complete regional rows assignment midway through the contest, you're out. You failed. You have nothing coming in. So it's a good idea to have multiple regional maps open so that does not happen. Or you're somebody like me who you're basically forced to get all of your assignments done within the first 2 days to ensure that does not happen. That's what it's like for high-level players. And if you're not ready for that, if you're not willing to put down the penny, then I don't know why you're playing high-level CoM, because you're going to waste your time every single week. And you're going to waste it anyway. It's just a matter of, you're doing it to win, I'm assuming, right? That's the whole purpose. And if you want to win, that's what's expected of you. Now, I never said it was going to be beneficial. I told you it wasn't beneficial. So at this point, he comes to me and he says, I've done 15 rows already. And I'm like, yep, enjoy. And you don't have any other maps. So what are you going to do when that assignment comes back again? And if you leave it sit, you're screwed, because it's right around 3,000 points. And he's like, this is just insane. I'm like, I know. It absolutely is. Now, what do you do when the regional HQ shuts down and you get regional currency tasks? You have two options at that point. You can either bulldoze all of your hard work, which is stupid, or you can sell regional items. Or you have a third option, and that would require pulling out your handy-dandy credit card and spending $2.99 for every one of the piggy banks. Which, again, think about what you're saying. You're saying you're going to spend $3 to do one contest of mayor's task to maybe, if you're lucky, hit first place so that you can get back what you spent well over the 10 tokens you're going to win. You spent damn near 2,000 cash, if not more. What, the platinum keys? You're doing all of this for 250 platinum keys at best? That's just preposterous. Like, that's just ridiculous. And then to know that all of your hard work can be thrown out for a hacker. I mean, really? That's just, no. That's crazy. Okay, so now that I've got my token running out again, I'm going to go ahead and try to set up some flour and hopefully have enough time to go through my screenshots with you guys without completely losing all of my token time here. And then we can catch up with, yeah, we'll be fine with the 17 minutes remaining. So let me get these set up. And I don't even know what we got. What did we get? Oh, we got that upgrade for 3K. So we'll deal with that when I get back from showing you guys the screenshots. But do not expect me to do this every week. I can tell you that right now. I am so happy I do not play high-level CoM anymore. Okay. Also, I have a chemicals tasks for 1,500, which I don't know if I'm going to have to do. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and put down, you know, some of the chemicals, because I know that between this video and that assignment, I'll get damn close to about 2 hours between the stream, and everything else. So let's see here. I don't think I'm going to need to do the chemicals task, but I actually needed chemicals regardless. So better to be safe than sorry. Okay. So let's go and check out those screenshots real quick. And I'll show you guys how we got to where we're at. All right. Yesterday. This is right where the stream, we were on stream. This is my 54th task. I know I did a video on this, so let me see where we left off, because I know you guys saw this part. If you watched part 1 of the video, you saw all this stuff. Okay, so I think this is where we left off. So at the time that I paused the video, I was earning the Cactus Simoleons task. Now, what I had done was I had actually been, I had 2 types of regional currency prizes in my passes. I had one in the side pass for 500, and I had one for 3,500 in the main mayor's pass. So I went to the cactus map, and I collected the side pass one for 500, and it gave me fish simoleons. So then I collected the 3,500 from the mayor's pass, and it did give me the cactus ones. So that was cool. So I was able to finish this task without having to do anything else. Okay, after I did that, I got the yogurt, or I got the Omega one for 1K, and I was able to get that yogurt done. Because for those of you who, I don't know if I said this in the first video or not, but I had counted 10 yogurts, and the stupid game did not count 10. It only counted 9 out of the 10. Now, I did not put anything behind it, so I was able to, you know, correct the problem immediately. but it still was a major issue because of the fact that it takes 192 minutes. So it ended up taking pretty much an entire gold token to kind of correct that problem, because I didn't really have 3.5 hours of downtime. So I went ahead and I started the token to finish the 1.5 that were remaining, and then I was able to put up a couple different items. Now, yes, normally you would put down 1 extra just in case the game does this to you. Given the circumstances that I had nothing behind it, I didn't need to do that. The reason that I didn't do that is because of how long this item takes. Because it was left empty, I would only do that if I actually needed to do that, not just for shits and giggles, because it's 3.5 hours, damn near, you know? So that is why I did not do that. Okay, so I was able to correct that issue relatively easily, but still pissed me off because it took a whole nother token. At this point, I get a upgrade war card for 3,000. Now, I was able to do this for 24 gold keys. I believe this was the 24 one. I did one for 4 keys, and then I had another one for 24 keys, and then another one for 24 keys at some point. But either way, it ended up taking over 50 of my gold keys this week. Okay, so then I get a upgrade pairs for 2,000. Now, at this time, this is my highest premium, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. And, okay, now here is where the decision started to get tricky, and I had to take a risk here. So, at this time, I still had several hours left on the electric. Now, I could have waited for the electric, but as I was looking at my list, I noticed that aside from the electric, I really don't have many other rotating options here that are opening up good possibilities. So I started to kind of look at my list, and I went, well, I've done the Omega, and it hasn't been giving me 3K Omega. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on that for now. I have cleared that Neo-Simoleon's task when it was right around 17 or higher. So I'm not going to go ahead and rotate that in. The oil is way too low at 960, right? Let's go back to the bottom half of my list here. Actually, I don't know if I put one. Hang on just a second. Okay, hold on. I want to show you guys why I chose what I chose. Jesus, has it been that long since I took a bottom half of the list? Okay, so I know that war deliveries got done. All right, so everything but the war deliveries is still on the bottom of my list. And that Omega. So I have the minerals and the... You know what? That's not accurate. You guys, I'm sorry. I should have taken another bottom picture. All right. So basically, what I did here is I made a decision to rotate something in. Okay? Now, I had already rotated in all of my 1K upgrades. Besides the Omega upgrade, which I've done in... I think I rotated in once or twice now already. So I decided that because this launch one has been sitting since the beginning of the contest, that I wanted to at least open up the possibility of getting a 3K VU, because I haven't opened up the possibility of that this entire contest. So if I was going to get any, I have completely eliminated that possibility. Now, granted, the 3K VU spawn rate is really low right now, but it's 0 right now. So without having even tried it at least once, I figured, when am I going to get a better time to rotate this in? Probably not at all. So I'm going to take a risk because I had 37 tasks left. Okay, so at this time I had done 23 tasks. I was a little behind, but not much on my average. And so I needed to this would have been a good time to take the risk. So I went ahead and I took the risk. Okay, now I get... Hold on. I get wood. And then I did the chairs. Okay? So I was unable to do the wood because the electric was down, right? Now, chairs was right around the same prices, or the same points as the wood. So I went ahead and I rotated those in. Now, normally, yes, you would wait on the electric. But again, Once the electric's done, I'm just going to be doing the wood if I don't get anything better. So because of how many tasks I had left, I still felt like I could make up for those points if I was to take this risk and try to scramble my list up a little bit. Here's what you don't want to do. What you don't want to do is you don't want to put yourself in a position where you are working one task the entire contest, and that you... Here's what high-level players have a problem doing. They have a problem with... They always find it easy to just pick the highest one in the list, right? Because as long as they're doing their highest task, that means they did the best that they could possibly do. And that's not true. Because if you would have stepped back and taken something worth less value, you would have opened up something with better possibilities. And it would have in turn ended up giving you more points as a result. So oftentimes what I'll see high-level players do is, let's say they are in a position where they have a 2K task, and then they get, let's say they had a 2K chairs task, but they have like 4 1K upgrades at the bottom of their list. They would be better off doing the 1K upgrades. Why? Because it's more than likely going to open up a 3K upgrade or 3K task. That will make up for the points that they lost by picking the 1K. But now it's opened up the possibility of actually getting 3K tasks. High-level players get stuck into a routine where they work one door. And when you only work one door, you close off all the other doors. And you cannot afford to have that happen, especially this early on in the contest. So as I'm looking at my list, I'm not seeing anything above about 1,500 points. Now, I did have the epic for 1,600. And a lot of low-level players, I would have advised they do that. But the reason that I did not touch that epic at 1,600 as a high-level player, I can't afford to have all my regionals get eaten up. And I can't afford to drop 90K to start the epic to end up opening up the possibility of that reoccurring back at 2,000 or even 2,400 points, thereby forcing me to do it. Right now, it's at a low value. And if I mess with it, it's going to eat up all my inventory. It's going to eat up all my regionals, all my coin, and it's going to open up the possibility to keep doing that. So I made the decision to take the 160 points less and go with the chairs. Hopefully to open up and scramble this list up a little bit so that I get better tasks, so I'm not just stuck working one task. Because if I do this and then if I don't rotate something now and I end up right around 10 tasks remaining when I decide, oh, maybe I should have rotated 20 tasks ago, I'm not going to have scrambled my list up enough. And I'm going to be in a position where I'm going to be unable to do that because I'm going to be in loop territory. Where if I start scrambling now, it's just going to start dropping my average like crazy. So I would rather try to scramble while I can still make up for those points. So that's what I did. I just want to explain to the high-level players when it's appropriate to take a little less to get more than it is to just constantly go for the most. The most now is not more later. Okay? All right. So the bottom half of my list here, which is now, I didn't realize I did take one. Okay, so I had the 1,500 monster and the coins. Now, those plus that the residential for 800, all three of those are completely off limits. The epic is off limits. I had keys at 1,200, but I knew that if I rotated in the keys, that was not only 240 points less, but I knew that the keys would just return. Right? And right now I'm trying to open up better possibilities, something like upgrades, and which is not something you're used to hearing me say, because I normally train low-level players. But yes, we're trying to open up upgrades here. And so we want to do things that we know aren't going to come back. So if I do the monster or the keys or the coins, we know that those are going to come back. And when they do, they could be worth more points, and we don't need that, right? The residential's only for 800. Why would I do the residential at 800? That doesn't even make sense. Not when I have other options. And residential can only be worth a maximum of 2,400 points, so that's out. The minerals is worth 960, or okay, it's worth 1230, but the wood is worth 15, and the electric is worth 2,300, and it's worth more. So that's out. So it stands to reason why I picked between the chairs, the limestone upgrade, the wood, and the electric. Now, had I not already rotated in low-level upgrades, I would have went with the limestone upgrade. But because I had already done that, and I still have other regional maps, you got to remember I have 5 regionals. So only having 1 in the list here still leaves me with 4 other possibilities to open up 3K tasks. So I wasn't too concerned about that, okay? That's why I chose to do what I did. All right, now let's move on. At this point, I checked the leaderboard. 4 days and 15 hours left. So we're right around, I think, 24 hours in, something like that, maybe. And I had 46,000. The guy in first place had 83,000. So it's been these top players fighting for first this whole time. Okay, so then I get a shoes task for 1760. Now, it's higher than the wood, but lower than the electric. I still had a while on the electric, and I knew that I would end up rotating the shoes almost immediately after. So I went ahead and I started the shoes on a token. Okay, so at this point, wait a minute here. What the hell? How did I do that? Now I'm confused. Did I do the wood with the 10? Oh, okay. I think I know what I did. I think I had left, I don't know how the hell did that happen? I don't know what I got going on here. I might have this on stream while I did this. I think I had left 14 slots open. But why didn't I do those? I don't know. I can't remember. You guys, it's been a long day. I think I had 15 slots that I cleared out. Okay, yeah, I remember. Okay, so I think I remember. I had 60 electric down. And I think I cleared out the 14. Or maybe I hadn't nope, I remember what happened now. Okay, so yesterday, midway, I had put down those textiles. That's what happened. So I wasn't waiting on electric. I was waiting on another hour to go by before I could put the electric down because I had just cleared out my first part of the electric. Okay, now I remember. Dude, it's been a long day. So that is why I made the decisions I made, because I knew I hadn't even started the electric yet. And I knew it would be 7 hours. So before starting the electric, I wanted to go with the wood. Either way, that makes my decisions previous to this even more so because I hadn't even started the electric. So what had happened was I had put down electric at the beginning of the contest about 7 hours before comp starts. I had let it sit for like the first 5-6 hours of the contest, and I hadn't gotten an electrical assignment yet. Now, I had gotten that metals task early on, and I had collected my electric to do the metal. And when damn train, dude, hold on. This guy's obnoxious. Okay, anyways, so I had collected the metal, and before I knew that because of the yogurt, I was going to have about 3 hours at a minimum because of the gold tokens. So what I decided to do was I decided to put down the textiles because I knew that they would be done right around the same time as the yogurt. Now, what had happened was I had lost track of time on my stream, and I wasn't on point, and that last yogurt screwed me up. So I had an extra hour to spare. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up holding off on collecting the textiles in case I got a textiles task. Then the electric came in for 46. And so before before I wanted to see if I could scramble my list up before totally tying up my factories. Now, my factories were still making the textiles, so I couldn't clear the wood, but I knew as soon as the textiles were done that I would be able to clear the wood and then start the electric if nothing good came up. So that's why I did what I did. Now, I get a 1600 repair, and I decide to go with the 1500 wood. And I swear to you guys, that train, I know, it's driving me crazy too. I can't change where I live. Okay, so here was my predicament. I either take 100 points less and open up this possibility now before putting down the electric, or I do the 1600 repair, and I know that the repair is going to come back as a repair. It's just a matter of when. I needed to clear that wood anyways because I had to get the electric down. I could not afford to put the electric down and then sit there and kick myself in the ass for not doing the damn wood, right? So I went with the wood and I did that. Okay, at this time I get the 2000 upgrade Frosty home, so I went ahead and did that. And I get a upgrade Omega for 1000. And I do the 1600 repair. So at this time, the 1600 repair is my best option. I could have taken 1000 less, but my average was starting to drop. And I wanted to kind of get some points. I had to start earning some points back. And that 1600 repair sitting there under all these circumstances is not good. I can't keep taking 1000-point hits to try to get something better to pop up. You got to know when to do that and when to hold off. This was the time to hold off. So at this time, it gives me a 3000 war task, which is great. It can make up for some points. And then I get a 1000 VU. Now, remember when we cleared that VU for 1000? It came back for 1000. So I'm not going to touch it, because it just came back for 1000. I already see that that's what it's going to do to me. So I'm better off, if I have to rotate something in, I'm better off rotating in a upgrade, right? And I get a 3000 London deliveries, which I was able to get that done. And I get a 1200 ladders task. Now, I could have done the ladders right away, but it's 200 higher, and I still had another 1K upgrade, right? And I knew that by studying, but I study pattern and I analyze everything. That is why I was able to come up with the technique that I have. Now, has anybody noticed a pattern here when I've done my 1K upgrades? I almost always pops up a 3K task, right? Okay. So I knew, or I was pretty certain, that if I chose a 1K upgrade, that I would get a high task in return, okay? Because it opens up that possibility. Now, this possibility was already there, but for whatever reason, doing a 1K premium that's usually, or has the ability to be worth 3K, remember when I told you guys the game always levels you out? It almost always levels you out. The 2K average is what you want to aim for, okay? It's a median zone where you can say, okay, I'm doing good or I'm doing bad. It doesn't mean that you can't easily earn more than 2K or less than 2K, right? It's just a part where it's like, okay, that's what you want to aim for. Anything higher than 2K is excellent, but 2K is right around the minimum of what you should aim for. Now, right now, and by 2K, I mean a 2K average over all of the tasks done. So if you're not a math whiz, which you don't need to be to do this, but if you want to know how to calculate your average, you take the tasks done divided by the score that you have. So if you've done 30 tasks, you divide that into how many points you have. And that is the overall average of the tasks that you have done. It doesn't mean that every single task you did was worth 2,000 points. It means that sometimes you're going to do tasks worth 3,000, and sometimes you're going to do tasks worth 1,000. Now, what is the overall average You know, you go up, you go down a little here, you go up a little there, but you want it to pan out. For every 1,000 point task, you need 1,000 points to make up for that 2K average. So how are you going to make up for 1,000 points if you do a 2K assignment? You're not. You're just holding your average. You still have to make up for that 1,000 points. So for every 1K task you do, you need a 3K task to bring you back up, right? Well, the game almost always gives you a 3K task under these circumstances. Okay? Doesn't mean that every time you do a 1K task, you're going to get a 3K task. No. I'm saying under these circumstances. Now, it gave me a 2,250 earn cactus task. I had to sell some cactus coins, and I had a little bit of time left on my shipments. It cost me a pretty penny in cash to get this task done, but I was able to get it done. And I got a upgrade Frosty for 3,000, so that was able to kind of make up for a little bit of the points that I had to risk losing. Now, it's a good thing that I rotated those premiums, those low premiums, you know, a while ago. Okay, now I get a upgrade hotspot for 1,100. Okay, so at this point, I do have the ladders for 1,200. I could have done them, but I did the hotspot because the hotspot task doesn't pop up very often. And I knew that if I got rid of it, it more than likely would not come back. So I needed to get that off my list. Okay, I get an 1,800 cargo. So this is still 200 below the 2K average, but it's higher than anything else that I have right now besides that electric, which I still have 7 hours to wait on. The reason that I was able to let the electric sit is because it was only worth 2,300. It was only worth 300 points higher than my 2K average. It's not like I let a 3K task sit. If it was 3K, it would have been blocking a possibility from happening. But right around 2,300, and that being one of my only tasks, or my only task worth 2,000 points or higher, it's okay that I let it sit because I had other opportunities here. Now, let's say that I was a low-level player and I had a 2,400 Latin home sitting, a 2,400, let's say a 2,400 textiles, and let's say a 2,400 VU repair or something. That would be bad. Okay, now you've got 3 high tasks just sitting. So low-level players, they have a little bit harder time because they're not able to do their upgrades. So their choices are much harder. Okay, so at this time, I get a 2K VU repair, and I went ahead and I did that. Now, this holds my 2K average. Now, why would I do a non-premium over a premium? That right there is a perfect example of when you do a non-premium over a premium. It's its points value. Okay, it's worth 2,000 points. Why would I not do it? Why does it matter if it's premium or non-premium at that point? I mean, at that points range, why does it matter? It doesn't. All that matters is that we're doing the highest that we can while opening up the best possibilities for higher point tasks to occur. Now, by me doing this task, the only possibility that I open up is what? Is it VU repair? No. I have another possibility that I'm opening up now, and that is the points value. Okay, so let's say that this was at 1,600. Then what would I do? I would still do what? Should I do the VU repair or should I do the ladders? Well, I would look at my score and I would ask myself, can I afford to take a hit and open up a better possibility? At that point, I would do the ladders. Okay, so now you have to ask yourself, how many tasks do you have remaining? Let's say you had 5 tickets remaining. Would I tell you to do the ladders? No, I would tell you to do the VU repair at 16 because it's worth more points. Do you see now why all details matter? Every detail matters. You have to look at everything. So when I train people, if let's say I was training somebody right now. They would say, okay, so if you have a premium worth less and you get a non-premium worth more, it means you do it? No, because I can think of other scenarios where you would not do it. And I tell them what I just told you, and then they get confused again. And it's like, the best thing that I can tell you is to assess everything. You're going to look at tasks remaining, points that you have, your overall average. Are you in loop territory? Are you in task? Are you doing tickets? Do you have a chance at winning? You know, there's so many things that have to be taken into consideration here, that you have to put into consideration before you can make your play. Now, right now, this is a non-premium, okay? So what is the best thing that you can do when assessing your tasks? Look at everything. And so many people only look at, but it was premium, but it was non-premium. Wow, really? No. That's where you got it wrong, okay? Just because something's non-premium doesn't mean that there aren't times where you would do it. If something is worth 2,000 points or higher, it's taking up one of your very valuable chairs. That's the best way I can explain it to you. If you have 10 chairs in a room and 4 of them are blue and 6 of them are red, blue is premium, red is non-premium. You have somebody who belongs in a red chair sitting in a blue chair. You need to get them about that blue chair so that somebody can sit down in it, okay? If you allow a bunch of people that belong in red chairs sitting in blue chairs, the people that belong in the blue chairs are not going to be very happy. Okay, they're not going to go sit down in the red chairs. They're just going to be pissed at you. So you need to look at all possibilities here. And when you're looking at this, when you're looking at a task like this, if it was at 1,600, the only possibility that you would be opening up is the fact that it can come back. But because of its points value, you open up another possibility by doing it. That possibility wouldn't have been there if the points were lower. So you have to look at everything. Okay, by doing this task, we get a 3K war upgrade. Then I get a 1,300 sugar, which is higher than the ladders. Should I do that? Hell no. Why should I not do that? Because somebody could say, oh, but you have 4 days left, so you should do it. No. No. Okay? So I would have to be idle until the electric finished. Then I would have to be idle until the sugar finished. That's 10 hours. Okay? Not only that, but what do I open up by doing the sugar? I open up the possibility of it coming back. Hell no. Do I want that to happen? No, I do not. Okay? So, no. We're not going to touch the sugar at all for the duration of the contest. We cannot afford to have that happen. Now, we get a 2K VU repair. Again, taking up a 2K placement, holding our 2K average, get it done. Then we get a 3K Omega. Okay, great. So you remember back when we had done that 1K Omega to open up the possibility of it coming back? It just came back. And it just added 1,000 points to our average. So it's a damn good thing we did that. Okay, now at this point, I'm looking at my list. I've still got a while on the electric, and I decide that I need to make an opening here. So doing a task assessment, I had Paris for 800. That was 200 less than the VU, okay? Then I had the Neo-Simoleons at 1460. This is a non-premium task. It's usually never worth more than about 1,900 points, and it had already hit me 4 times in the beginning. It's at 1,400 now. I don't want to mess with it. I've got a 960 oil assignment. No. I've got a 1,200 key assignment, which is higher than the VU, but it's only going to open up keys. And right now, I really need something better to open up here. And it's so basically what it came down to is I can give up 200 points with the possibility of opening up a 3K VU, or I can take the 200 points higher and do the keys and have no possibility of that. So under these circumstances, I went ahead and I did the VU in hopes that, okay, now we've only got 16 tasks left. Maybe it'll give me something a little better. So I do the 1K VU, and I get a 1700 silk task, which I did because that's what I needed to do. That was my only option here. Okay. At this time, I'm in second place. This was when I went to bed last night. Okay, pretty much. So at this point, it comes down to veggies and electric. So the electric finished, and I was able to get that done. Then I get a 3000 limestone cliffs upgrade. So again, good thing we cleared that. And then we did the veggies, which apparently I did not take a screenshot of. And that was this morning when I woke up. I did not want to start the veggies last night because I knew I would fall asleep and miss my timer. So I went ahead and I waited for whatever was getting done in my barn. And I woke up this morning and I started a gold token on the veggies because I was going to do, I wanted to get some of those textiles that were clogging up my storage. I wanted to turn those into flour. And my dumbass had a prowler in my front yard this morning and forgot about my gold token on my way out the door. And so I caught it just at the very end, so I decided to go ahead and start this video. Hence, how we got here, okay? So this is where we left off, was at the veggies that I'm currently working on. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start a stream, get this uploaded, and then I will update you guys with the remaining part of my day, okay?